Imagine if you could take Leonardo AI's art produced and turn it into a consistent form of passive income for years and years to come. Today I'm going to be showing you my ideology, my internal mentality around how I'm going to be printing passive income for a long time with the power of using Leonardo AI here on this video. This video is not going to be a short one. It's going to be a lot of information around what I'm doing behind the scenes, and hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching, and let's let the video roll. Thing I'm going to be showing you is a bunch of these different designs I've been working on yesterday, just for fun, I guess. And it started, where was it here? Did some flags here, did some pictures of, some patriotic stuff, did some abstract stuff, got some cars going on. I think this is really cool. Here we got a picture of a Corvette Stingray. Shout out to anybody who drives a Corvette Stingray. We got the Lamborghini Aventador here. With all kinds of different art. Obviously, not all are upscales. We have some rainbow elephants here wearing sunglasses. We got some corgis. And like I said, I was just testing different things, constantly testing. Got some patterns here. If you guys want to see a video on patterns, let me know. I got some pictures of some, roses. We got a whole bunch of different things here. And I'm happy to show you how I created all of these. And I think the first few creations that I really enjoyed creating, other than these of course, was mixing and matching two subjects. So here, like for example, let's go ahead and go to a image like this. I have here artwork, and this I'll just show it to you. It's like a picture of a car with the pyramids in the background and some palm trees. So let me read you the prompt. It says artwork of t-shirt graphic design, ancient Egypt pyramids, remembrance style, colorful shades, highly detailed, clean, vector image, photorealistic masterpiece, realistic car, simple sunrise backdrop for a car, flat white background, vibrant vector. So that's what you're looking at here with a prompt like that. And I'll leave some of these prompts in the description box. So if you go to YouTube and you look at the description box, I'll leave the links, not the links, but the prompts there. Any links that I have in the video, I'll leave in the pinned comment. All right, so you got to look in the comments, really look for that pinned comment, that very first comment. Not the regular first, but the pinned first, if I mention any links. But here I was creating some eagle designs, right? So some patriotic eagle designs. We got a picture of an eagle, like an American flag kind of style background here. I think one of my favorite ones is I actually put it on Canva here, where I edited the background. And I actually had to edit the background off of a different software. I think here it is. This was it. And this was one of my favorite ones that was produced. You can see here I could move it around. And this is kind of how it looks. And I think overall it looks really cool with the black. I think this would be cool on a black t-shirt with some text around it or something like that. Maybe I'll create a design video in the future. But here, like I said, we have a bunch. This one is really cool as well. I am very patriotic, and I'm an American, of course. So there we go. We got some great content for that. Here is we got some other stuff like deer. I wanted to create like a deer hunting kind of style video, image. But I probably have to work more on my prompts. But you could see here we got a whole bunch of cool stuff. I think this one was really unique. And the more unique it is, like I said, the more it has an effect of making money. Now, before we get into some image creations, the reason why I was actually looking at this kind of stuff and thinking about this kind of stuff is because we all have the ability to produce some really strong art. And everybody has that ability, but not everybody has the ability to monetize. And when I say monetize, you have to figure out how to produce an income from these kind of things. And one of the ideas that I'm actually actively working on, this is not something I'm thinking is going to work. This is something that I'm actually putting resources into, is creating a competitor to a company called Vexels. So if you're familiar, Vexels was really popular like last year, the year before. It still is really popular. It's not something that, is dropping off in any way. But all they do is they sell designs for people. That's all they do. And I think there is a market or a niche out there for, not I think, I know, there is a market out there for people who don't necessarily want to sit there and spend time creating t-shirt designs. You might say, well, why is that? Well, because it takes a lot of time. The reality is there's a lot of issues or errors that can come into certain t-shirt designs. But imagine if you just had an all-access membership to a certain website that could produce designs for you, right? And categorize them in a way that could actually help you reach any kind of design you want. And you can access hundreds of thousands of designs. That's a website that I'm creating. I'm not necessarily going to sell to you guys because I don't think you guys are the market for it, because you're already aware of, the AI art and things like that. But that's something I'm building on the side to produce for me some passive income. And the way that's going to work is I have to build up the portfolio first. Remember, I made a video on this where I educated you guys on talking about, the different levels of how to get to passive income. First is active income, then it's portfolio income, then it's passive. And building up that portfolio of tens of thousands of art, different designs where consumers can pay a subscription fee and get access to whatever they want. And I'm going to be using Rocket Web Builder to control the subscription fee and the landing pages to create the funnels and everything like that. And it won't be hard to run. I just need to create a lot of different art. And you can see here, it's just a matter of taking them, downloading them, and uploading them, which is the exact same process, by the way, that you guys do. You guys take, for Redbubble, for Zazzle, for Etsy, for Society6, whatever it is, you're taking your art and you're slapping it onto some sort of platform like that, like redbubble.com, for example. Speaking of redbubble.com, I'm thinking about doing another marathon where I upload every day, 30 designs a day, just like last year where I was doing that every day, 60 designs a day for a whole entire year. I'm thinking of doing another one soon, not sure when, but once again, that's a different conversation for a different time. So you could see here, created a bunch of cool art, and every single one of these pieces of art, I think, is decent enough to be on a t-shirt. I've seen some really ugly t-shirts that made money. I think these are overall pretty decent. And like I said, there are some issues. Like, for example, you have an image like this, right? Like, you have to clear stuff out like this. There are certain people that don't want to deal with that. They just want to buy an image, and they're good to go. And hence, I mean, you could look at places like Getty Images and things like that. Granted, it's not the same thing, but you can pay up to $400-something for one image just to be able to use commercially. They could probably, with $400, you could get a lot more images. You're more bang for your buck, but some people aren't looking for that. But regardless, that's a service that I'm going to do. And if you're listening to this and you're planning on selling your designs on Etsy, or if that's something you're already doing and listing them, the only difference between having Etsy and having your own website, right? You're competing with Vexels as well because you're offering a graphic design, not a service, but a product. The only difference is that the ownership. You don't have ownership when you're on Etsy. You're in control by another platform, which there's nothing wrong with. They're going to help you drive traffic and all these things, but it doesn't come for free. You're going to have to pay a cost, and you're also controlled by the market. So, for example, if I was to create a design like this on Etsy and sell it, I have to list it within the bounds that make sense financially speaking. One of the reasons that I was very, very financially successful on Etsy, and you could go ahead and watch my videos from last year, is because I priced it right. That was the first thing. Pricing does matter on Etsy. It really does. That's the first thing. The second thing is the keyword usage and research. Now, when you're ranking on Etsy, right, the first thing you have to do is you have to find a blue ocean. And what a blue ocean is it means there's no sharks in the water. There's no blood in the water. There's no competition. And that's one of the most important things that you can do, especially for newer stores. Maybe if you had a store before in the past where you have already 50, 60, 100, 200, 500 reviews on it, it doesn't matter. But and people will eventually see your designs. But if you have a store that's literally brand new with no reviews, no traffic, no nothing, you're going to have to find those blue oceans, and you're going to have to use those keywords to rank in that category, which once again, I've done videos on how to do this. This is nothing that, it's not new to the channel, pretty much, right? And then after you do that, you have to do that in certain amounts, larger amounts. Now, something that I will say with Etsy is that Etsy, out of all the different platforms, requires the least amount of effort in terms of uploading quantity. So if I was to upload, for example, 50,000 designs on Redbubble, I wouldn't need even, a tenth of that to make the same amount of money on Etsy. Why? Because it's just simply not as hard to compete and win. If you can find, like I said, that blue ocean, it's just much easier. Now, once again, you're going to get all types of people that may agree or disagree depending on their situation. But I look at it this way. I say, okay, all that effort that I had put into Etsy, Redbubble, Zazzle, Society6, all that, if I had just put it into my own website selling those exact same images or graphics or whatever it might be on my own website, how much money could I have made? I could have made 5 to 10 times, 20 times more. It just depends on the situation. And also, I could have provided more value. You think of it this way. Instead of people buying each image, right, I can take all of my images and offer a subscription just the same way Vexels is, right? So I could take, let's just say I create 200,000 images over time. Let's just say over the course of a year, which is, once again, not that hard to do if you're committed. Actually, I take that back. That is hard to do. Let's not be crazy here. I would say if you're really committed, if you're alone, because I'm thinking on my own terms, like if I have virtual assistants, things like that. If you're on your own terms, you're working by yourself, in 1 year, it's not crazy to do 30,000 designs. Why do I say that? Or 30,000 listings on your website? Well, because if you just do the math, 30,000, right, divided by 365 is equal to 82 designs a day, right, that you upload. It's not crazy. I used to do 60 designs a day for Redbubble every day with Society6, with Zazzle, with Etsy, and things like that. So, not to mention TeePublic, and I had a few other things going on with blogs and things like that. So it's not crazy to say that. I think you can do that if you're on your own, especially if you're dedicated. And I know that every day you're not necessarily going to work, but there are some days that you could do 200, 300, 400 uploads, especially if you figure out how to automate the process. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just sharing with you guys how to actually monetize the idea. Like, there's somebody out there today who would be willing to pay for this to use it for their own t-shirt design. They might have a clothing line, they might have whatever, and it's, they're going with that. Something that I will say, I want to give you guys a little thing here, is there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Alex Eubank, right? Let me show you his name. Alex Eubank or Eubank, something like that. And he has a huge following. He's like a fitness influencer, and he has a clothing line. Let me actually click on his clothing line. And guess what? One of the images in the clothing line right here, these are created by AI. So this image here was created by AI, right? Now, as an influencer, he may or may not know this. I don't know if he, who is his artist. I'm not sure who's his graphic designer, but this image right here that was created by AI, and I know for a fact it was created by AI, but this image that was created by AI, he might have paid a designer, $200, $300, $500, $600, $1,000 to create. But you also got to think, how much money is he going to be making from his clothing line? He could be making, $500,000 every single drop, every few weeks after the clothing sells out. So the point is that there's always a market. And I think a lot of people are stuck inside of a box or a mentality that they can't do something because they've never done it before. They've never seen it done by a single individual. And I'm telling you guys, that's just the wrong way of thinking. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump into some design creation. I think I babbled enough about, some designs here. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So you can see here I got some like dragon designs. I think this is a cool one. This is like the typical dragon idea that I was looking for, and they don't have to be perfect. That's also another thing. Like with the model that I'm bringing, where I sell it as a subscription, like my own kind of side hustle, is the images don't have to be perfect. The customers are going to have access to literally tens of thousands of images as they want. So I'm giving them more value for the cost. And the cost, what I'm planning to do is anywhere from like $5 a month to $25 a month. That's probably somewhere there. And yes, that is more than Vexels. I think Vexels is $9.99 a month. But right, like I said, your service, you charge what you want. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump into it. So how do I create some epic t-shirt designs? So the first thing I look for is I look for the design to fit in the middle of the canvas, I guess you could say, or the composition, right? I want a different colored background, so in the future, if my customers need to be able to erase the outside, they can do that, whether it be through GIMP, whether it be through any means necessary. All right, and here you could see this is a perfect example of that. So I can let me actually go ahead and do this. So I'll save image as, and I'll hit save here, and I might as well open up GIMP, right? So if somebody's doing this for free and they're at home and they become a customer from my website, right? Not you guys, I'm just saying like in my future subscription product where people get my access to my designs, what they're going to do here is, some people will, not everybody will, but some people will go over here and they will, let me go ahead and hit download here and upload this download image. And then what they'll do is they'll select here this like magic wand or whatever you want to call it and select that color that applies. Then what they'll do is they'll go to layer, transparency, add alpha channel, take the eraser, increase the size, and just start erasing, making that area transparent. Not sure if you guys knew how to do that before. I'm sure some of you probably knew. Maybe some of you didn't, but this is just a little bit better, and then they could save as is. I really don't care. I'm going to list it the way it is on my personal businesses, like I said, because I'll allow them to do what they want with it. But that's what I'm looking for. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want certain parts of the image being cut off, right? So that abstract color really, really helps out. So like something like this, nothing would be confused, you know what I'm saying, from the AI aspect of clearing out the background. Which once again was why I was able to do this image. All right, that's the first thing. So creating the t-shirt designs, the background, they can't be close to the actual color design, and that's what I'm looking for. The next thing is actually creating the concepts. So this is a concept of an image that I really, really enjoyed, like this. I thought it was really cool. And it's a detailed illustration, tribal wolf warrior, t-shirt design, paint splatter, t-shirt design, mentioned twice, in the style of the studio, Ghibli, pastel, tetradic colors, fantasy art, watercolor effect, bokeh, Adobe illustration, hand-drawn, digital painting, soft lighting, bird's eye view, isometric style, retro aesthetic, focused on character, 4K resolution, photorealistic rendering, white background. So what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to show you how to edit stuff. So we go over here, hit remix, okay? And now we have that exact same prompt, that exact same data. And the first thing I like to do is just give me a generation. Like, I just need to see what's going on here. So I'll hit generate, all right? And without changing the seed, or excuse me, without getting seed information involved, what I want to do is I want to see the differences, okay? So something that I learned early on was changing your sizing will make a difference. So for example, these are results. I'll click generate again. These are with 768 by 1024 in terms of sizing, right? Then what I'll do is I'll go over here and decrease the sizing just a bit and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so now it's 640 by 896. Not on these. These two have the exact same sizing. Like I said, 768 by 1024. Let's go ahead and hit generate with the new sizing and see how much it differs. Right? Let's actually create two generations there. Okay, and now I'm seeing. And if there's anything that catches my attention, anything that I like, I'm gonna go ahead and upscale. Right? I'm gonna go ahead and upscale. Right here, I think I like this. This is pretty cool. And I look at it and I tell myself, is anything here worth it for me to sell? Would somebody out here buy this, right? In a world, I think somebody would buy this. I think somebody would buy this. Maybe somebody would buy this, not sure, but I'll just do it anyway, right? It doesn't really matter. This is very cool. I'll go ahead and upscale this. And this is a smaller design. So the smaller design to me maybe achieved a certain look that the other ones didn't, right? And this is also the next, from the smaller size. You can see the sizing here, guys. I know it's small font. Let me actually see if I could zoom in. Yeah, no, I can't zoom in. All right, so there we go. It's a smaller font, but the sizing is right there. But you can see here the images are much cooler. All right, so they're upscaling, they're doing their thing. But now I decrease the size. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with some certain settings. So here I'm going to type in the negative prompt. I'm going to type in dark background, just like this. Okay, because I can see that might become a problem in the future because they're getting darker. And so I'll just type in dark background, and that will be the only change that I'll make for now, and hit generate, right? And I'll keep doing this. I'll keep working the images until I get something that I like. Like, I like the way this came out. This looks phenomenal, all right? And this was the larger one. Here was... they're still working on the smaller one here, but this is pretty cool. And then, all right, so here we go. So now we got some stuff. So I added dark background, didn't really change anything, but it also changed the view of the image. So the character shift, right? So here, front facing, this is side view. Here we have some side views, front facing. I like them, pretty cool. All right, so this one pretty cool as well. And then what I'll search here, or I'll edit here is, let me go ahead and zoom back in. Let's go to, all right, 90%. A detailed illustration of a tribal wolf. Now let me go ahead and remove the word tribal, and let's have wolf. Let's just not even go with wolf. Let's go with something different. So let's type in tribal lion. All right, tribal lion. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we're going to do here. Illustration of a tribal lion t-shirt design. I'll put a comma after that, not that it matters, but I'll go ahead and hit generate and see what comes up. And by the way, right there, so like this is 1, 2, 3. I could really upscale probably much all of these, but there you go. And so once again, going back to, this is very cool. Once again, going back to what I said, like an image like this does not make sense. This like horn or whatever this is, this shouldn't exist. Now, the amount of time it will take me to erase this and all that, I might as well just create more generations, I'm not going to sit there waste time doing the same thing. And also, not to mention, the people who are buying these good designs, they're going to feel the same way. If you think that they don't know about AI, I mean, you're crazy. They do know about AI. They know what's going on. They know all this stuff. But yet, other companies like Vexels are still in business. So it's just a matter of doing it, like I said, and uploading it and getting the work done. You guys will realize that 90% of the income that you can make just comes from the fact that you just need to go out there and do the job, without the distractions. Right now, we live in a time where distractions are so present and so effective that you can't even accomplish anything now. But regardless, that looks pretty cool, and that was a smaller size. I increased the size back up again, and you can see here we have a different style. Me personally, some of these are okay. They're not my favorite. I feel like better designs could be achieved. So I can go over here to the home, and I could see some inspiration even. So like for example, if I want to create some I don't know, let's create some patterns. I mean, why not? So let's go over here, click the image, hit remix, right? And now first thing I like to do, like I said, is just generate. I get into a habit of doing this where I'm just generating. Why? Because I just want to see what's going to come up, the different styles. And I have no intention, like I said, of copying people's work, but I just want to see what is going to come up. And let me go ahead and upscale these because I want to see the better version in its full glory, I guess you could say. Now, this is where I'm going to go ahead and jump in and start doing some edits. So seamless patterns of flower and trees. Okay, first thing, instead of flowers, and flower and trees, I'm going to change this. So I'm going to type in here of yellow roses, okay, and pink roses. Let's go ahead and change that. All right, so pink roses. And let's just see. That's one change. All right, so that's one change that I'm making as these are working, getting upscaled. Did our other designs get upscaled already or what? Our other line designs? Not sure. Yeah, not sure. But let's see what comes up here. And there we go. That's cool. All right, so I would be happy to sell something like this. Not exactly what I was looking for, but it's cool. You know what I mean? So I could go over here and increase my guidance scale to make it more effective and hit generate, right? And That's me doing a split test. So I'm making one change every single time. And since the changes aren't crazy, I can expect that I'm going to be able to monetize off each image produced. And that should be the goal, right? Every single image that you should produce, you should be able to monetize. I think everybody listening can agree right here, right now, that you probably have a lot of art that you've created that you don't make money off of. They're just sitting on your computer or they're just sitting in your program. I think every person listening to this can go out there and make some extra money. I mean, there's so many different opportunities. Like I said, I can have here yellow roses and sunflowers. Let's go ahead and change that here. So sunflowers. Okay, rainbow themed. I can go ahead and remove this. All right, so I'm going to remove that. All right, repeating pattern, whatever. Something that I would say also, if you're doing the pattern, it's probably a good thing to go over here and turn on tiling. I have seen it work without it, but this is just a little FYI. And also, this is a seamless pattern. So if you see this section here, like this flower that's cut off, if we take this flower, like this image right here, and we drag it, and boom, it fits right under this, okay? So it fits right under it. So that's what makes it kind of seamless, is that there's nothing that's going to be cut off. Like this section here, how it's a stem with a leaf. Look at that. You have the rest of your stem here with the connection of the leaf. So that when this is placed on a piece of merchandise, right, it's going to essentially fit on top of each other. So I'll create a section in my website, right, where I'll have like seamless patterns where people can access them. All right, so that's a little FYI as well. All right, so then what we'll go here is hit generate, and as this is generating, I could test different things, take a look at different things. Let's just say I wanted to work on multiple things at once. I can create images here while I'm listing on my other website. Does that make sense? And so here we go. We got some stuff here. Not exactly, once again, what I was looking for, but not bad. All right, so I could hit generate once again, and I could even remove this concept of roses, and I could just go over here of sunflowers and hit generate. All right, and the cool thing about Leonardo is that I can create multiple generations at once. So you can see here now we got some sunflowers going, we got some roses, we got some greenery. It's a good image. All right, let's go ahead and upscale this. I probably have to refresh my page. But not bad images we got here. Okay, these are not my style, not my taste, but I know someone out there will like them. That's why I'm going to upscale them, I'm going to monetize them, make sure I can produce some income off of that. And yeah, so this is working. It's doing its own thing. If there's ever an element in time where I need to vectorize an image, this was a software that I used a while back. Like I said, things have kind of changed. A lot of the manual labor, I don't necessarily do all the time myself anymore because I have people that can take care of that. But like, for example, if I want to vectorize images, like let's say it does this, sometimes this does. Plus I already have an active subscription. I mean, I'm not telling you guys to go out here and do it. I'm just simply saying it exists. All right, so let me just show you what I'm talking about. So let's take this image, kind of cool looking. All right, let's go ahead and download it and right click, save image as, boom, save. I'm going to drag it and drop it into this vectorizer tool. I want to show you, by the way, how it changes the design. Like, it actively does change the design. So let's go ahead and let this load. It changes the way the design actually looks like, right? So just give it a second here. It's uploaded the original. And give it a second. It's loading. It's doing a lot of work here. Okay, not too much of a change, but you could see here, if I was to zoom in, let's just zoom into like a section like this. You see how this is like pixelated like that? This is now almost like drawn in, right? So it does make a difference. And I can edit this and things like that. Now, am I going to offer different formats to the images? I don't know. I think that's going to be really tedious. It's probably a good option to do it, but I really am not sure if I'm going to do it 100%. I'll have to probably look at my competitors, see what they're doing, but this is once again just one example. If you want to sell your designs on Redbubble, if you want to do all these kind of things, you could do the same thing. You're just, trading dollars for pennies at that point. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't, you know, I've done Redbubble, I've done all these things, and I still do them, and I have virtual assistants that are doing them because it makes sense from an ROI standpoint, right? If I pay my virtual assistant X amount of dollars and I give them the tools and the help necessary to get the job done, and they come out with X plus whatever the number is. It could be $500 a month, it could be $1,000, it could be $200, it could be $50. It doesn't really matter, right? If I come up with an ROI, that's the only thing that matters. So in terms of doing it, I mean, it makes sense to do it because I'm generating an ROI. If I'm not generating an ROI, then I'll stop. But that's kind of the whole point here. And so, by the way, you can see here some of these upscaled. If you like this video where I just talk and work behind the scenes, let me know what you guys think, all right? And I don't know how long this video is, 30 minutes. Not bad. I don't want to keep it necessarily for too long. Hopefully you guys enjoy these style videos where I talk to you on what's going on behind the scenes in my personal businesses. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye.